Lord of mercy. It is red. Okay, you guys. Good morning. And oh, I feel so funny. I have on this. I don't even know what to call it. It's just, I don't know. It's lip stain, and I didn't realize it was this much. If you want to come in, here it is. And I got Casey to help me get set up. He said, why'd you start if you wasn't in here? You guys' time just caught up with me too fast. I'm going to give it a minute to see if anybody's in here. Oh, okay, you guys. Good morning, Eva. Honey, there's your 10. I hope you had a good Mother's Day, you guys. I pretty much had to, I guess, blackout is what I call it. Casey saw that I wasn't feeling good, and he was like, Mom, he said, you need to shut down all your social media, because he knew I had a migraine, and it was pretty bad. So looking at the screen bothered me, and so I had a kind of rough weekend. But yesterday I tried to catch up, and then this morning I got up real early and tried to catch up. Traci, there you are.
Hi. I think I gotta shut this line behind me. Hang on.
We have Eva on with us. But yeah, I tried to catch up this morning. Keithan woke me up at like 5 o'clock, I think. I don't know what the time was on the coffee maker. But anyway, so I got my computer set up and tried to catch up on people's videos. I missed some good ones. I still have to watch the Friday night girl talk. I didn't get to do that one. And I didn't get to see Derek's race. And
I did see Derek's race. That was fun.
You did?
Yeah. Destiny won the whole thing. And well, now I'm a spoiler. I told you before that I shouldn't have done that. That wasn't nice.
No, that's fine. Oh, Destiny, good girl. Hey, Jennifer. You guys, look, I'm not trying to make a statement. There was this lip stuff that came with my Ipsy, and it was in there in the bathroom. And I'm like, maybe this don't really look like that color. No, it's lip stain. So my lips are red. So this morning, I have red lips, you guys. It's just the thing. But I did do a little bit more on my painting this morning while I was sitting in here by myself. Good morning, Darling B. I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. I had
an excellent day.
I did not put on clothes until I really wasn't going to. I was going to my mom's in my PJs that I had on all day, but I had to go in grocery store. But you, Traci, you babysat, didn't you? And that was
Yes, I did. It was a long day, but I did have a good day. He's, let's see, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So my grandson that I babysat is 19 months old. And believe me, he is like that 1.5-year-old, except they are talking to their doctor because he's not very verbal. He does a lot of but you can tell he understands you and he figures out a way to communicate what he wants, but he says very, very few words, almost none at all. So they want to have him tested, which is, I think, a great idea. But he's busy, at 19 months old. They're all busy like that, so you can't take your eyes off him for a minute. And I had him from 7:30 in the morning till almost 7 o'clock last night. I was beat.
I know. And it makes your back hurt. It makes you hurt all
Uh-huh.
over. Yeah. When I had daycare, but now when I had daycare, I was in my 30s. Um, when I had my own, let me see, I was 35 when I started my own with 12 children in my house. I had one little girl that came, and it was a girl I grew up with and went to church with. And her son, the oldest son went to school with Tiffany. Her next son went to school with Casey. So there was a big age gap of when she had her last little girl. And I mean, that being her first girl. So when I got her, she was right at 3. And I had 2 other 3-year-olds. And because I was in daycare before that too, I think about 13, 14 years altogether that I was doing daycare. I noticed that she wouldn't say a lot. She would stare at me, like right in my face, stare. And she would not, she just didn't interact with the other kids as much either. But now, like I said, she went from having these brothers and being at home all the time to a daycare setting. What in the world? Traci, let me see what I just did. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yes. See, now my granddaughter now, she runs around everywhere. She just turned 4. She makes my husband nervous even. Me, I mean, I know she'll pretty much come and tell me, everything. She knows everything. Being my little girl, I told her mom, I said, well, the very first day she laid in the floor and tried this crying, kicking thing during when everybody else was quiet time sitting on the floor watching TV. And I just looked at her and I'm like, oh, mm-mm. So I just kind of made a point to step over her and go do something in the office. Then I came back and I made a point of stepping over her and kept doing what I was doing. And she looked at me and looked around at the other kids and she sat up and she started watching. I'm like, yep. So she never did it again. But then when she wanted something, she would do the, point at stuff. So I asked her mom, I said, let me ask you. I said, do the boys just give her what are you chewing on? What have you gotten? Excuse me, you guys. What have you done? You guys, I will be right back. Traci,
Okay.
my other baby. Let me see what she's done got. You better not have gotten my hair.
Uh-oh. Somebody's in trouble. Yeah, Eva, my grandson, and he's a fun kid, but oh my goodness sake. 12 hours of a 1.5-year-old. I thought I was gonna lose my ever-loving mind. He's fun, but it's hard to communicate with a nonverbal child. And man, I did my devotions last night and prayed for every parent of every autistic child or nonverbal child on the planet, that how much they go through is just crazy. It's crazy.
Darling, don't you laugh. My darn stuff I finally found for my hair. The cat, I know it's the cat's fault. She knocked it off and the puppy got it. So I tell you that. Okay, back to the little girl. I asked the mom, I said, do the boys just give her whatever she wants? Does she point at something and they get it? She said, um, yeah. And I said, well, they need to make her say what she wants. So I watched her enough to understand. I don't know why it keeps making weird comments over your name. So anyway, she started talking
Yeah.
because I knew enough that she talked to her mom, so she was verbal.
Hmm.
But I really worried because I did tell her, I said, you need to have her tested because the oldest brother had mental. No, I never taught baby talk to none of them.
No.
I never
Yeah,
did.
we don't talk baby talk to the kids either. And that's but my grandson's name is Brian. So Brian, he literally, Marcy, that's my son's fiance, she kept track for like 2 days, and she said in 2 days that she was home with him. Now he's 19 months old, and in 2 days he said exactly like 8 words, and he should be talking sentences practically by now. And he does have two older siblings that live with him, and a third older sibling, that my other grandson, that's there part of the time. Um, and the kids do a lot for him, but you would think with all the people in the house talking that he would say something.
Well, see, Darlene, I don't know what all it's got in it. We're jumping from one thing to the other. The main thing is water. I don't know what else. It's a leave-in conditioner, but it says free from sulfates and something something. But she didn't get into it enough, just like a child. But my daughter, when she was little, mom talks about he does the pointing thing too. Yeah, you had some kids you have to make music words, but the oldest brother of the girl at the daycare, the little girl, her oldest brother had some kind of mental deficiencies. I mean, he was in ROTC. He
Hmm.
was able to march and do the twirling the rifle. He was able to do all that, but he had some learning disabilities, I guess, as far as testing and stuff like that. I mean, he works full time in a grocery store now, and they've been graduated 10 years maybe.
Hmm.
And but then the second brother, he never wanted to talk. And it took a long time for him whenever he would come over to get his little sister or walk in to get her. It took a lot for me to get him to talk to me.
Hmm.
He could talk and his grades was all right, but he just was so overly shy. And once he started talking to me, if he ever walked the neighborhood, his across the highway. Sometimes he just show up at my house at the daycare, and
Oh my goodness.
and I would say, I mean, who's Casey's age? And I'd say, well, hey, what you up to today? And he would just kind of look real shy, and then he'd come in and he'd talk real low. It took a while for him to finally come out of his shell with me. But he was, he went in the military, so he didn't have any learning problem. Anything goes. Yeah, so most of it's water. Good morning, my honey.
Good morning, Destiny. Congratulations on the race.
Yeah, she ruined it for me. I hadn't got to watch it yet.
Yeah. But I already, spoiler alert, I am kind of a spoiler person. I don't mean to do it. I'm just like, whoop.
That's fine. I say, yeah, Destiny, you got them good. um, yeah, I
But
know.
yeah, my grandson, the thing that makes me concerned about the autism thing with him is that he very much is repetitive. Like when he does his it's always he points with the same hand and it's 3 times in a row. It's always 3. Everything he does, it's
Oh, wow.
and so it's like you really need to have him checked because something's just not.
Well, even with that 3-year-old, even with her, a lot of people, this was a child that was so beautiful, so beautiful.
Mhm.
People tend to overlook if the child is this overly beautiful child. They overlook any development things because they're
Mhm.
just looking on the outside, you know. So I would still notice. She drive Mama crazy. Good morning, Cricket. But she would have times that she would just turn away from the kids and just would have this stare.
Mhm.
And it was unnerving to Mama. But I would tell her, you know, turn around now.
Yeah.
It's movie time. And some of it would not be, some of it was she just wouldn't want to do what I said, but she would still do that turn around and stare. Unless I stared back at her, then she would turn around.
Mm.
So I'm kind of still wondering. She's either graduated this year or she
Mhm.
graduates this coming up year. But I'm not sure how she did in school. Uh, I've been on her Facebook. I do have her, well, my other Facebook I have her on. And I could tell she's socially and awkward. Good morning. Okay, I have your name written down.
Oh, I did too. I was like, I know.
Wait. Where's my paper? Okay, wait. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. No, that's not the one. Okay, be the difference. What's your name again? Come on.
I'm trying to think too because I was like, I
Derek
thought I
knows.
had that committed to memory too, and I apparently I don't.
Derek or Adam knows, but I think it's Derek.
Joy.
Joy. So which one? Me? Who died? Me or Tracy? I died mine week before last.
Yeah, mine's still the same gray. It's been
Mine
what
just
color, and it's what's there. That's
yeah,
what's left.
yeah, mine was really bright this morning because I washed it. But and in this, you're not seeing the hair dye, you're seeing the dye job on my lips. Yeah, that leave-in conditioner too leaves it really, really pretty too. Oh goodness, Joy, I
It is
tell you.
beautiful. Your hair is beautiful this morning, Darlene.
Well, thank you. I got up. I did put, like I said, I did do my eyebrows, and I was going to just put a tint of color, and bam, I ended up with what? Oh, she does red, beautiful. The other women talk about red lips. Carla, Princess Casserole, isn't that Carla? You
Yes,
guys.
yes, and she does the red lips, and she does.
Oh,
Yeah,
I wish I had her teeth. I drink way too much coffee.
yeah, that's my problem too. Well, that and the smoking. Between smoking and coffee, my poor teeth don't stand a chance at my age to be white.
And see, I don't smell it, but it's the coffee and the tea that gets me.
Hmm.
Oh, I was thinking something. Oh, you guys, I asked Casey. I might save the scripture for this morning. We're going to do Bible study, but it's going to be, I think, on a more personal and getting input from everybody. So, Joy, I don't know if you've come to the Porch Church Network. I I I don't know. I'm trying to get around to everybody's, but I think I have went to hers, but I was on somebody else's channel. So I am going to have to do catch up on hers today. I'm trying to get to know everybody. I'm trying to get to know everybody. And somebody had told me that when I'm doing this, like I'm doing now, and like with you, Traci, that I'm overlooking people in the chat. And I really didn't think I was. I feel like I've always tried to, keep up with you guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Joy, I will go back and get to know you.
Yeah,
Like,
I try to when every time I've subbed to people and anytime that I see somebody I'm not subbed to in a chat, I usually go and sub right then. Then I try to go back and watch some of their videos. Um, but I'm not sure if I just started I just remembered Joy from just like over the last few days. So I don't know if I've gone back and watched her videos yet or not. I watch so many. I'm serious. My husband laughs. He tells me that I have an addiction to YouTube. And I kind of do, but I said, when you're home all day by yourself and you have the opportunity to have a communication with adults that are, even if it is through the computer, at least we, Bobby's on. Did you see
I
that,
know
Bobby?
I didn't want to interrupt. Hi, Bobby. Bobby, how are you for tomorrow morning? Let me know if you'd like to come on in the morning, and that way I will I will make a point to get things up and going and get you on the chat early enough with me. I'm still learning things. But, I went back to the last one that I did, and we lost Traci. Traci will pop back in. Um, but I went back on the last one, and I didn't think
Sorry.
that's I didn't think I ignored anybody. But it's like if Traci's talking, I'll try to wait and then respond to the chat. Oh, good.
Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to I'm having a hard time. Destiny or somebody who knows more than me, can you tell me how to make the chat show on my screen? Because I see like the whole screen, like right now, just Darlene. And I see me in the corner, but I'm not seeing the chat on my screen at all. And so I'm looking at the chat on my phone, but I'd like to be able to see it right there because then I think I would see it more than if I have to look for it.
Yeah, all right. Casey always like pulls up how you came in on Google Hangout.
Mm-hmm.
He will bring he'll bring like the YouTube to the right, and
Mm-hmm.
then he'll bring up the Google Hangouts to the left. So you're
Okay.
seeing in real time, and and then we see the chat, and the chat will be right in front, be it at your
Uh-huh.
eye.
Okay, I see.
And you guys, that one day took a lot out of me when I started early that morning. We went into art stuff. Then Casey had the auction thing with Rebecca. They were on late. And then I think we had a full day that Wednesday that I touched on, I think Thursday. We had a full day that Wednesday, taking someone to the bus and taking her to restart her life. And then Thursday, I forget what we did. And then that night, I get this call. And I already started having headaches. And then I get this phone call, and it's my daughter. Oh, Mom, I need to take I need to take Abby. She calls her Abby. I call her Abriana. She said, I need to take Abby to the doctor. Uh-oh, you muted. I said, what for? And she said, Mom, she's got Play-Doh all down in her ear and she's crying. Oh, that's how you do it. See, that's easy. That's how Casey did it. I wasn't sure how he did it. Tracy, are you muted on purpose? Tracy, did you mute yourself? You muted yourself somehow. Good morning, Vanessa. How did you mute yourself? All right, let me see how I can unmute you. Okay, somebody tell me how to unmute Tracy. So Abriana had green Play-Doh stuck all the way in her ear. So I'm jumping up and okay, so I think she's working on that. And then okay. But so anyway, I'm throwing on my clothes, and like I said, I haven't felt good all day. And so I'm throwing on clothes while I'm on the phone with her right at 5 when Kevin gets home. And so I tell Kevin she's got to take the baby. She's got something down in her ear. And you guys, there was a storm that came through Friday. And I was going to drive, and Casey said, I'll go ahead and drive you. And I'm like, okay, are you going to be able to deal with the baby screaming and hollering? And he said, probably not. I'm telling you, it was last week with so much hectic stuff. And so anyway, we take her all the way to Opelika, and one side of the interstate on the opposite side was backed up for miles and miles because of wrecks. But we get her there, and sure enough, they dig and got out so much Play-Doh out of that child's ear. And the last washing that they did, her tube come out as well. So, which she need to lose her tubes out of her ears anyway. But then everybody's, mad. Well, how did that happen? How do you let that happen? And I said, Kevin, what did you do? You swallowed a nickel. You put a marble up your nose. What else did you do? I said, kids are going to do crazy stuff like that. All right, Vanessa.
All right, now, Destiny, tell me how to mute the other one so that I'm not hearing echo. Mute site. There we go. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes.
I'm coming to the new age.
Okay, I have a question for the panel. I have a question for the audience. When you guys go on Vanessa's, your pop-up auctions, can you guys hear Vanessa? Vanessa, I don't know why, if it's just me or if you're talking really low. Because, I mean, somebody else.
There was somebody's channel that I was watching this weekend that I could not hear them at all.
Vanessa?
It probably was Vanessa.
Yeah, and I don't know, because you said in one of them that somebody said you were talking too loud.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes, Destiny, thank you.
No, Vanessa, but I try not to talk loud. It could be your iPad. Try, like, next time turning, I guess, the volume up. But I mean, the first one, like when you was doing it, before you decide to let us see your beautiful face. Yes, that's good, Tracy. You can help me watch too.
Yes.
But Vanessa, before when you were doing it and you showing your jewelry and your hands and everything, it was, I could hear you. And I don't know what the difference is. But this morning I did work on my painting a little bit more, and I'm looking up angel wings, and that's something else that's gonna could be Vanessa too far away.
Yeah. Do you
But
have your painting out here, Darlene, or?
I do this at the kitchen table, and I did this morning. Every time I walk in the kitchen, this is what I see. So this part was just white, and I'm like, no, because I told Casey, I said the focal point is not the mirror. I said it's going to be the angel wings and the little girl.
The little girl. Mm-hmm.
So I had to I had to take that white whatever that was bothering me away from it. And
Mm-hmm.
then the top of it looked like devil horn. But anyway, and it's even going to come in through here. So, the detail of that's not going to be that, I'm not worried about that. But I did work on a little bit this morning. And, I come in here, and after my husband leaves, I sit in here, and, that's a little bit of my therapy. That's a little bit of my therapy. I'll go back to my granddaughter and the stuff in her ear. Luckily, on the way home, even though there was a lot of water on the road and there was a couple wrecks that we saw, we got home fine. But I told my daughter, I said, you come by the house and you say you're going to spend the night, then you leave and don't say nothing, and I don't hear from you for all these days. I said, you could have been dead and stinky in the house, and how would I know it?
Yeah.
I'm like, that was when she gets in the car. So I'm like, okay, I'll get her since she has to hear me. But she just, she just goes silent sometimes. And, but I thank everybody for the pop in when I finally did pull up Facebook yesterday, the Happy Mother's Day, and I got one from Derek. Happy Mother's Day, and he told me he wouldn't be on this morning. He had something to do.
Yep. He told me too.
And Derek, bless him. And then Dwayne, I said, Derek beat you, Dwayne, and telling me Happy Mother's Day. And I said, I hope you guys treated your mothers the mothers to something special.
Well, I did. I had taken out a whole chicken out of the freezer. I was going to roast chicken and do potatoes and salad, and my oldest son, the one that's trying to get a new trailer that still lives with us. I said to him in the morning, I said, if you didn't get Mom a Mother's Day present, I'd really love you to mop the kitchen floor for me so I don't have to do it later. And he didn't end up mopping, but he did when it was time to start fixing the dinner. He's like, Mom, you need to sit down. I've got this. And not only did he do the roast chicken and vegetable and salad, but he made homemade from scratch rolls to go with it. It was awesome. And then my aunt came up. My aunt is never been married, so she doesn't have any kids, but she's just as much a mom to us kids as our mom is.
Yeah.
And so my mom was going to my brother's house, so I had invited my aunt to come up for dinner. She brought a pineapple upside down cake, so we had like huge holiday dinner. I was so stuffed.
My mom makes the best. Um, my mom makes the best upside down pineapple cake, and she and I one day she said, and Vanessa, I'm hardly one. I have Casey to help me. But I did tell Casey, I said, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm going to check with Vanessa. I said, because I can't hear her and I don't know if she's on purpose, being low.
Mhm.
I said, but I told Casey, I said, I'll check. And then you come on this morning. So, yes, at least if you come on, Casey will be here. See, I'm going
Mhm.
to offer his service. But I'll have him help you if try to make sure we hear you like we've been hearing you. But yeah, it was on my birthday and I showed up down there and Mom said, well, I'm going to teach you how to do an upside down pineapple cake. So you need to be here tomorrow. I said, okay. So I went down there and we did it. I did everything. And,
Mhm.
and well, what time, Vanessa, are you going to do it? And see, Tracy, my mind, the rose thing. But anyway, when it's finished, I told my mom the only thing I didn't get the pineapples to stay perfect lid on them.
My aunt is it's kind of funny because she said, "Don't be getting mad at me," but she said, "I thought I had pineapple rings in the pantry and I only had crushed pineapple."
Whoa.
So she did crushed pineapple all on the bottom instead of the rings, which it still tastes the same. It was perfect.
I figured it would taste better because I'm the
It
one
is
who
good
always,
because then it's like, yeah, you have pineapple in every bite.
yeah, because I would always be the one, and Mom knew it. I would always get that middle pineapple ring. That's my piece of pineapple. Is I would
Hmm.
get the middle pineapple. But afterward, I told Mom, I said, it's a heck of a thing I had to cook my own birthday cake. And she said, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I said, it's my birthday, Mom. No, it ain't. And I mean, she talked so loud and squawky. And no, it ain't. I said, Mom, I know my birthday. I said, I
Hmm.
got my phone out. I said, see, it is my birthday. My
I
mom.
took my necklace off because I wanted to show you guys what my mom gave me for Mother's Day. It is, we all know that part of the reason why I got my YouTube addiction is because I lost my best friend and I was very, very lonely without my best friend. My mom got me this necklace and it's
Right.
a all right, it's a heart, and I'll read the heart to you. And it has an angel wing,
Oh,
and my friend and I had the same birthstone, so then garnet birthstone. And the heart says, your wings were ready, my heart was not. And it's just, that was so fitting. It was beautiful.
well, um, I know that sounds crazy. And I woke up yesterday morning and, I just want to cry. I mean, it was like my chest squeezed. But 2 years ago, my sister, she got her boys to help her finish moving. All right, I love you, babe. My pixie chick. That's what
Bye, Destiny. Love you.
I call her pixie chick. But she had the best day. She said Mother's Day, and that both their boys was together, and they helped her move. And she took a lot of pictures, and first time the boys, her sons, had kind of been around each other in a while. You know how siblings, even Casey and Tiffany, do that. Okay,
Hmm.
Joy, that's good. Yeah, Joy's in and out. I know sometimes
Yep.
you'll
Yeah,
listen.
don't let us get you in trouble.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you. But the troublemaker's not here today. We know who the big troublemaker is. He's not here today. But anyway, she had the best day. And I think it was the next day, or it might have been, I forget. It was either late that evening or the next day. My nephew, he committed suicide.
Oh my goodness.
So I think I woke up thinking about that. And
Mm-hmm.
so my chest was, everything was wanting to make me cry. Plus, all these allergies and everything. I tried to blame it on the allergies, but it was partly um, my chest constricts a lot when I think about my sister,
Mm-hmm.
my little sister. So I know what it's like to lose a sibling. But when you have a best friend, I haven't, thank God, lost a best friend yet.
It was been a rough year for me because like I said, the girl that was my best friend when we were children, who I grew up right next door to, she died in October of the just 2018. And then my best friend for 30 plus years since I've been an adult, I mean, she was the maid of honor in my wedding, I was the maid of honor in her wedding, you know, um my kids called her aunt. I mean, she just was everything you could ever want in a friend. And we just had more in common as adults than my childhood best friend. We had more childhood things in common, and then she died on Valentine's Day so suddenly, and it was just like it's been a hard year. It was like kind of a 1-2 punch, and I went to my pain doc this week, and I ended up going to him 2 days in a row. He told me that he wants me to make an appointment and go talk to somebody that specializes in grief counseling. He said he thinks I really need it, and I don't think he's wrong. I think I do need it, but I also did send, because I get emails every day from a monastery, not a monastery. Is that what they call it, where the monks live?
Yeah.
I thought that's where the nuns live. But anyways, they do a morning prayer and inspirational every morning on email. So I have them on I get an email from them every day, and they were doing a 9-day novena that starts tomorrow, that you do, a different prayer every day for 9 days, about Mary's spirituality. And oh, thank you, Darlene. Then Abbey is where the nuns live. That's right. Okay, so it is a monastery. I was thinking, now that doesn't seem right, but for a donation to the monastery, to their mission, they would send me um, a book that is it happened to be in that email, and that was a sign from God for sure. It was a book of prayers for healing.
Oh, wow.
So I went ahead and got on their website, made a donation so I could get that book.
Bye, Vanessa. Love you. I will shoot me a message through Facebook and let me know what time you're going on.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna make sure I'm on ding-a-ling on you. So I noticed that a lot of people that I had on notifications are not the people that I want to catch immediately. So I've been trying to get that switched around so that the ones that are more important to me, that I want to see live, I'm gonna get in their lives instead of willy-nilly.
Yeah. Well, and for some reason, a lot of my stuff, I wasn't getting notifications. And
Yeah,
even on Porch Church, I'm like, son, are we going to do that today? And he'd be like, well, yeah, I got it set up. I said, I don't see a notification.
that's crazy.
But last year, um, last year in our like Bible group, there were several. One person lost her husband. Another lost two siblings. I just don't say names, but
Right.
it's for them to share if they want to. But last year there was just a lot of um, a lot of loss and
Mm-hmm.
sadness, and I tend to take a lot of it in. Oh, oh,
We're
okay.
not going to get offended, Vanessa. I'm
Oh.
just going to make sure that your bell is rung so that when you go live, I can hop on right away and make sure I can watch your whole show live instead of watching the replay when I can't comment when you're talking.
Yeah, you and Lynn B. Lynn B doesn't have she doesn't do Facebook.
I had a Facebook for years. And after my best friend passed away in February, I didn't get on and look at Facebook until just this past week after I talked to my doctor, because that was one of the things was I was afraid that somebody was going to say something about what a good person my friend was, because she was amazing to everybody. And I just couldn't deal with seeing those kind of posts about her. I wasn't ready to accept it.
I don't well, are you guys seeing both of us? I want to make sure it's flipping over because the other day it just went willy nilly. I don't know what it did the last time I was on. Um,
Okay, Vanessa, you don't do live yet. Okay, well you could do live like we do with the hangout.
you got on hey Jennifer again. Oh, why did you get in trouble for doing live? Uh, doing your live video. You know, Vanessa, this is what I've learned. Last year, you know, last year, Casey, there was just a lot happening. But first, can you guys see both me and Traci as we talk?
I think so.
Okay. Um, there was the whole community kind of a lot happened, inner workings of everything. But anyway, um, yeah, that's kind of like my story, Vanessa. But I just took, yeah,
Yeah, Joy, it's difficult because when it hits you upside the head, even when you have somebody that you care about who's sick and has a fatal illness, when the time actually comes for them to pass, you're never ready. So you can't say that, well, she died suddenly, so I wasn't ready, but even
and
when you know somebody's sick, you're not ready for them to go.
no, and I was away from my ex-sister-in-law for 30 something years, and I was
Mhm.
only in the family for 2.5 years, but I loved her. I mean,
Mhm.
and when I finally got back in touch with her through Facebook, I was so glad. And then one day when the tornadoes went through, and I wanted to check on her because she lives down there where all the tornadoes went through, ripped up in Lee County, Alabama,
Uh-huh.
and nobody had ever probably heard of Beauregard, but that's where they went through. And I was waiting to hear back that her and her family was okay. And I was not prepared to hear that she was diagnosed. She went to the doctor because she couldn't breathe well and diagnosed with stage 4 cancer all over.
Mhm.
So Casey walks in the kitchen and I am just, it hit me so hard. And he was like, Mom, what is wrong? And I told him. And I just sat there and he just rubbed my back. And it's like it's in the back of my head, I'm waiting to
Mm-hmm.
hear, waiting to hear. But Casey said, Mom, have you heard anything on her? Have you heard anything on her? And I said, no. And I don't want to bother her daughters. I said, they don't know me on this Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't want to bother her husband. He's got enough to deal with. And they've been married. They got together that, uh, right at the time that I got divorced. And her and him got together. So they've been together as long as me and Kevin have. But,
Mm-hmm.
he's sitting there by her at the hospital. So I only knew one person to get in touch with. And I tell people wife number 4. I said that on here last week. But anyway, I'll shoot her a message today just to check. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, but I'm scared to know.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be ready.
Thanks, Jennifer. And you're right, darling. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's so, I mean, it was like a gut feeling. I like literally, my best friend and I were so much a part of each other's family. Like we would go to her family for some of the holidays. She would come to with my family for some of the holidays, her and her husband and me and my husband and kids. And so I got a message on Facebook, an instant message on Facebook from her nephew to call. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, something's wrong. Because her nephew Brad, is a grown man with a wife and 2 kids. He has a life. And yeah, I see him when we have like get togethers and stuff like that. But for him to call me or try to get a hold of me outside of that was unusual. And so I was like, oh, something's wrong. So I right away got on and called. And when they answered on the other end, it was my best friend's husband. And immediately I knew. I started bawling as soon as I heard his voice, because I knew he was going to tell me she was gone. And I was like, this cannot be happening. Can't be happening. I mean, she's not that old. I'm 55, so she was 64 years old. 64. Going to help her sister-in-law who has cancer fix her oxygen tubing. She was on her way in the car and stopped at a stop sign and just apparently had a heart attack and died.
So, moving Adam. So, see, Tracy, let me turn my volume down a little bit. That is the reason then on your, that is the reason Facebook, you had to step away from Facebook.
Yeah, that's why I stepped away from Facebook and I came
Yeah.
on to YouTube, because I could talk to people who didn't know me and didn't know that I was my best friend's best friend, because if I were people that knew me would see me online, they would be like, oh, I'm so sorry. How are you doing? And I couldn't handle that. But I could come on here and talk to people and even say that I lost my best friend and I just need a friend, but it wasn't, people didn't know her and didn't know me, and they gave me a chance to just not be lonely.
And then what do I do? I tell you, I'm echoing. Is it me or I hear an echo? But anyway, what do I tell you? Of all things, I said, Tracy, you look so much like a friend of mine that passed away. It's uncanny. And even Casey said, she does, Mom. You sound like her. And that I told you that. And now you're telling me, your friend died. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And that's,
I know, but Darlene, we had an immediate connection because you and I have been through so many of the same things. We're about the same age, and throughout our lifetimes, we have been through so much of the same things that I just felt an instant connection with you, and that's okay. because I can deal with that. I feel like I have the friend I lost. And what did Darlene said? She had two sisters.
I wasn't going to, say it, even though Darlene said it in Bible study. Yes.
Yeah, that is so. It's just hard.
So
It's
we've
just
had. That's why I
hard.
was saying, our through the Bible net, through Bible Porch Church, we've seen a lot of. She had her sisters. She lost her sisters, and one of them it came up on a year that she lost her husband. And anybody, if they ever reach out to me through private message about stuff, I'm like, well, it's their story to tell. But I have a day of just crying because my sister took a lot of memorial pictures. She said, why hide it? Because she said, I don't want anybody to forget. I don't want anybody to not talk about my son. I want his memory alive. I'm still his mother. And it took me forever when I just grieved. I take on grief sometimes. And when I feel a lot of stuff sometimes. Casey will say, that's why he'll say, Mom, you need to come off social media. You're about to get weird. That's what he calls it. I know it's sort of like when I start feeling maybe I'm not resting enough in the day. And then the migraines hit, and then the loopiness, like yesterday, I was real loopy. And then I got short of breath and everything. So I don't know. I think maybe not having a good immune system, Traci. Stress. And if you don't have a good immune system, I think stress, it causes little by little to wear down.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think that's what happens, because Casey, last night I done got to about crying because I was trying to say something and it wouldn't come out, and I started this stutter thing, and that didn't happen until about the time I came out of work, because it was like misfiring and couldn't figure it out. And medications wasn't the medications. I've tried to figure everything out, and it'd be embarrassing. I've been more vocal since we started Porch Church, and I come out of the shadows.
The shadows from behind. Yep.
Yeah, I did that because I was embarrassed. If I run into a friend, in the store, I would forget words, or it would bother me so much. And I just kind of hid. And then it's like the more Casey did that, the more vocal, and he'd tell me, Mama, I want you to speak out, that I'm more able. Yes. And but you guys, I asked Casey, I said, what is the difference in me? Because Granny Josie said I even look like I feel better. But I think it maybe is coming on here, Traci, like you said. And I told Casey, I said, after my disability stuff's over, I really want to be able to go live and help people that are going through the same things. Because number one, you're ill, or you'd be working.
Right, exactly.
You have 2 doctors or 3 doctors saying you can't work. And when I sit for too long in this chair, I switch around some, but when I sit too long, it hurts. And then when it put me to bed with my migraines the other day, being in bed all day, that really did a number on my back yesterday. I mean,
yeah, my back was killing me yesterday. I'm disappearing. Woohoo! She's gone. I'm trying to get this comfortable. Exactly. My back has been, of course, lifting up Brian, my grandson. My grandson that's a year and a half weighs almost as much as the two boys that are 6. He's just a little chubber.
Yeah.
And so picking him up and carrying him around yesterday, and oh my goodness. But so I normally sit at my kitchen table because you sit at your kitchen table. So I feel more akin if we're sitting at the kitchen table together, But
Well,
now,
you're still sitting at my kitchen table.
yep. And now I'm on my comfy spot on the couch. So that's why that's why I have this window right behind me. This is where we have like a big, almost a U-shaped sectional. And the only way it fits in the house is my spot is the spot with the chaise lounge because of my legs. That way I can always put pillows up on the end and prop my legs up. But the only way to do that is to have this window behind me, which for the most part is nice because I could sit here in the wintertime when the sun is out with the blinds open and feel like I get the sun on me. But in the open window season, it is not very fun because our neighbor behind us, he has a dog that they don't promptly clean up after. So you smell dog doo-doo or hear his dog. And
Good morning, Lynn B.
yeah, good morning, Lynn B. Yeah, but Adam, I was gonna say that is exactly what my doctor said. The doctor that I went to twice last week is my pain doctor, and he's been my doctor since 1998. And he said, you have to think about your whole system as one thing. So stress affects your pain, and stress will make your pain go up, and pain going up makes my ability to sleep go down, which makes my stress go up, which makes my pain go up, and then I can't sleep. And so he put me on something to sleep, help me
Well,
sleep.
then it made you
Yeah.
loopy the first night. What about, is it better now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting a good solid night's sleep, and it's good, but I don't want to have to take something to help me sleep for the rest of my life either. That this has got to be a temporary thing. But he did say to me, you need to go see a counselor, and he said, and your husband can't be your counselor. But I didn't say, hey, can YouTube be my counselor? Should have asked him that.
Well, it is good therapy. It has been for me
It's been
because
awesome therapy for me.
I am very sociable. I mean, poor Casey. He'll be like, oh my gosh, Mama's in there talking to that person. Will you please let that person go and come out and get in the car? And Kevin always, when I first met Kevin, he's not as, I mean, he's fine when he's at work and he's laughing with the people. I can hear him over here laughing. I love to hear him laughing. I'll be on the front porch and he'll be laughing or he'll holler and tell me, get back in the house where I belong. And I holler back at him and tell him, you guys are on the city payroll. You guys need to get back to work. So we holler back and forth like that. But he is not like I am. He's friendly because when he's a truck driver, the same stores he stopped at, the same truck stops he ate at. Of course, he would meet people. Oh, your kids tell you that too, Lynn. But I have found sometimes when I would speak to a stranger, they would thank me and tell me they needed that. So we never know. I always say you never know who you're talking to because, hey, Peggy.
Is that who Dana's treasure is, Peggy?
Yes. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Oh, so see, this helps me. I have Casey reading the Bible, me reading more, me socializing more. I have gotten a little bit better about my speech and all that. And you guys probably on here think, oh, we can't imagine you not talking. But last night, I was glad my husband, I was going to cook when I come in from my mom's. And, and, Keegan said, well, why not? Let's get takeout. How about, is that okay if you put that back in the refrigerator? And I said, baby, that's perfect. I'm tired. I'm glad, you said that.
Mm-hmm.
But I had, was standing there and I was trying to say something and I got stuttering. And Casey looked at me. He said, Mom, stop. And he kind of just put his arm around me. He said, Mom, breathe. He said, breathe in and breathe out. And I just start crying. I said, I thought it was. And he was like, no. And we're good. I'm glad you came.
Yeah, I'm glad you stopped in, Peggy.
So it really, when I started doing the stutter thing, then it's like my whole system starts going into this, oh my God, it's an embarrassing,
Says it's like trigger anxiety, then all of a
yes,
sudden.
yes. And then it's like, no, 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 I can't do that, because usually when I do that, then I would pass out or become unresponsive. And that's usually the start of it. But I guess I stopped. Good morning, my love.
Good morning, Gina.
Where's my happy Mother's Day, Miss Gina?
Uh-oh, Gina. You're in trouble, girlfriend.
Yes, we are, Gina. It's going to be more of an open forum thing, but I have some things written down, and I'm like, I was going to share here, but then I said, well, I told Casey, I said, if I could share. Yes, I will, Adam. Okay, you're forgiven, Gina. Now, when my daughter tells me, now I'm just waiting on my daughter to tell me Happy Mother's Day. My oldest daughter, that is my heart child. I did not birth her, but I put on Facebook a picture of her and Casey, and they look alike. I said, even had she come out of me, she still would look the same. I even put a picture on there. If you go and look, Traci, of there's a picture. The only time my stepdaughter Brandy has ever had, it was a few years ago, and my hair's like this short, But the first time that she had both her moms and both her grandmothers in one picture. So, yeah. Okay, Lynn. But but yeah, I'm still waiting on my
Oh, thanks, Gina, for watching my Mother's Day video. How was it? Did it make you sick to your stomach? Because I was
No.
sitting on the porch with my phone, and I was like, when I realized that I wasn't even trying to hold the phone still, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm probably making everybody seasick.
No, And
That's where I was
then
sitting down on my porch having my smoke.
somebody else did a live one. Let me think. I'm trying to think. But Cece, I think. I was going down through YouTube this morning trying to catch up. I think it was Cece did one outside showing her jewelry. I think she makes earrings and stuff. The birds, she had her stuff laid out. I think it's Cece. You guys, if anybody watches Cece's, but anyway, the birds and everything.
Aw, thanks, Gina.
But the birds were chirping and she was outside and it was,
Mm-hmm.
guys, I see this blings a lot. I finally figured out why Joy says my hair looks different. It's the light bulbs.
Did you change the light bulbs?
Yes, they went out. They went out. Well, one was doing weird, so I said, well, something's wrong with those. And because of it being the kitchen, and I'm like, I don't have a light above my stove, so we got these 100 watt,
Mhm.
but they're like they just use like what 5 watt electricity. There's
Mhm.
some of those, but Casey, I don't want soft white, Mama. I want those daylight kind. So I just now figured it out. That's the shine that she's seeing. And
That's
that's the
funny.
thing from my Vanessa
Mhm.
thing. It just like blings. But yeah, my kitchen is really bright now. But you guys, it is good therapy. And when I had a friend, a young lady, come after her divorce, she came and was hanging out on my porch with me before I ever started doing this.
Mhm.
And it was like the more we would sit out on the back, at that time we had a table and chairs on the back deck. And we would sit out there, and she is so she doesn't. Yes, yes, Gina, we finally got
Mhm.
it. We got these lights on in here. But when she came and started spending some time with me, because getting divorced, leaving where we worked, and she went to a smaller version of it, and she had moved from our area. She found out
Mhm.
a lot of people didn't keep up with her. That's how people do when you leave work, and then you find out people, don't message you as much on Facebook and stuff like that. So she really felt secluded. Plus, she was living way in the country. And I was glad she started coming by. And we would sit on the back deck, and she started opening up and sharing. And um, my daughter was like, well, oh, I didn't know you two were like that. I said, well, yeah, we connected. It worked somehow. I said, just, I don't know. We connected.
Mhm.
And and that connection, she ended up for a whole summer. I loved it until she started work. She would come and we would hang out because I guess her and her mom are not really close.
Mhm.
And, um, and she's like another one of my kids. I mean, I just loved sitting out there. And you know what? It ended up being that's when a lot of stuff I was able to share
Mhm.
that I had not ever shared or told any of my family. And it became easier with me and her sharing and me understanding a lot of stuff that went, with her marriage. And we discussed a lot of stuff that I already knew.
Mhm.
And because I was friends with her ex husband first. And then I fell in love with her. And
Yeah.
he did not understand what, but anyway, yeah, me and her are still close. We still keep in touch. I miss her coming and spending the day with me, but she still does sometimes. She's um, she's another one I call my girls, and that
Mhm.
helped me. I don't know how because I tried to help her, and she said it did, but it ended up helping me as well.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of, anytime somebody's sharing, I kind of would do my hands, or I find something to hold and look at. When you start getting intimate talking,
Mhm.
like Destiny did, I was so glad she felt she could open up and talk, um,
Mhm.
on my channel. It meant a lot to me. And I noticed, she had something in her hands. And I guess sometimes it's easier to share if you're not looking eye to eye to somebody, and if you have something to focus on. But I do that a lot.
Mhm.
If I get to a topic that is hard for me to talk about, I will tend to look down or look away. And I guess it's because we are made to feel shame, even if it's something we didn't do. That's not our fault. When you grow up to feel shame, we're doing it, ain't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
15 weeks.
Okay.
Good morning, Casey.
Good morning. Is it Traci?
That's Traci.
Hey, Traci.
And Vanessa, when she goes live, I told her if she would just let us know that you'll help her about how to do her volume. She didn't know that it was real low. She says she thinks it's because it's a tablet and she's away from it now. So she says she don't have anybody that helps her.
Bless her heart.
So I told her you would.
Yeah.
I gave your services away.
She's pimping you out. We can say that on this
Don't
channel.
say that.
We can say it on this channel. We have to be nice on the church channel.
I was going to say that, Casey. Did you hear Traci? Yes. Oh, and look, I couldn't figure out why Joy, my closet. Oh, what? Now see, now I know her name, and I can't think of her channel name. She talked about what did I do something? Did I dye my hair? And it is actually shiny. Then I figured it out. Let the sun shine in and see.
Yeah.
Look how.
The daylight lights.
Oh, and see what the cat did? Knocked that off on the floor. So Miss Thing brought me the lid. And when I smelled of it, I jumped up. Darlene B laughed about it. But anyway, yeah, I couldn't figure it out. And I sat here for a long time talking to Traci. And all of a sudden I'm like, I know why my hair's blinging. I said, we let the sunshine in. But, oh, Gina. Hey,
Gina.
I can't connect. Do you know Logitech cameras?
Yeah, I have one.
Oh, he can't get his. Oh, Be the Difference Clothing, Casey. That's Joy. And my Pixie chick said for me to be sure to go to and watch her video.
Destiny.
Yeah. Adam, she's laughing because I said it blinging because it's bling. It is kind of blinging, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But Adam, Casey said yes, that he has one.
I charge $79.
Oh, Lordy mercy, you guys. I needed this morning after being away from everybody.
I did too.
I really did. And so at least you guys will know to keep Darling B in your prayers because her sadness too. You know,
Absolutely.
Casey said, Mom, May around my birthday is so sad. There's just so much sadness. It will be a year. It's a year now for Timmy, isn't it, Casey?
Yeah.
And 2 years for Jared. But Timmy, it's been a year that somebody killed him, and he was another one that welcomed in my house. And Casey was like, Mom, can you stay for a while and sleep on my floor? He has nowhere. Adam said, would you take 79 cents?
And a smile.
And a smile. Honey, we'll take, right now, we'll be counting pennies. But anyway, Timmy was one that he got out of jail and he didn't have anywhere to go. So him and a friend, and find out Casey had worked with him while Casey was still in high school. He worked at a seafood restaurant, was a server, and that's where they met. And then the best friend of the guy went to school with Casey. So they kind of crashed on Casey's floor. And how many months was it? It was like 3 or 4. Hi, baby. That's Mother Baby Girl. Hey, baby girl.
What's her name?
That is Gina's daughter. That's Taylor.
What's her name? Taylor?
Taylor.
Hi, Taylor. Nice to meet you.
But Timmy crashed for about 3 months or so on the floor, and he got into. I mean, we say we invite you guys into the crawlies, but it was like Timmy welcomed us into the being of Timmy. Little old small guy, looked just like an actor that I saw one time on Lifetime, and I pulled the actor up and I said, Casey, don't he look just like him? But he had a lot of mental problems as far as just stuff he should have been medicated for, but he wasn't. But nothing scary. And he and I sat on the back deck too, and I had a chance to, because he wasn't about religion, but that's something about me that I will share my Jesus with you. I will listen to your thoughts, and then I'll tell you why I feel the way I do. So I told Casey. He did come back another time and stayed for a little while. But I told Casey, I said, you don't know what his final days were like. His friend took him to rehab, tried to help him, but when somebody is part schizophrenic, to a point, that is a a serious mental defect that can't help.
No.
So we loved him, and his friend tried to get him help, and he came out of rehab and was in a bad part of town, which is Columbus, Georgia, real bad part of town, and somebody beat him to death.
Oh my goodness.
And he was a little small guy, and they kept him on the ventilator until somebody came forward and said they saw it. And then they arrested the guy for murder, because I think they just kept him on a ventilator long enough because he didn't have insurance. And he was kept on that so he would not be legally dead. Because you think about it, if it would have shown up that he was dead, that person would have, I'm sure, left the area. But it was hard. It was really hard. It was really hard on Casey, and it was hard on our whole family. For somebody that was just a spark. And I told he said, well, Mama, he didn't believe in God. I said, you don't know that. I said, Casey, we had that discussion. Maybe it was meant for that time in his life to be here. And I said,
and that even if he cried out in his mind, in his conscious mind, while he was being beat to death, to ask God for forgiveness and accept Jesus as a savior, he went to heaven anyway.
yes.
You don't have to be a Christian for a certain amount of time in order to go to heaven. You just have to believe.
And, and that's why I told him, I said, we all make mistakes, but God loves all of us. And I told Casey, I said, you don't know what his last thoughts was, Casey. And I said, so yes, I did. We did talk about God. And I did tell him that Jesus, is there for all of us. And I said, so, yeah. Yeah, he did. Yes, he did, Gina. He did get arrested for murder. He was charged with capital murder. He was. But, so then the other friend, I walked outside one morning, take the dog out, and boom, there was the other friend sitting there. And he'd been crying, and he said, do you care if I sit here? I said, no, good morning. I said, no. And I let the dog out, and I went out there to sit with him, and, because they was having the funeral that day, or they'd already cremated, and they were having a send off. And so we stood out there on my back porch, and I said, well, I don't know why God brings people into our lives when they do. And I said, or why that, he was brought to us. And
Mhm.
he said, because y'all are just good people. And I said, well, thank you. And he still, now this friend still back and forth. He'll ping pong, but to be told, well, y'all are just good people, and um, we we just are here. Good morning, Anamora. But that's what we do, and I guess even though I said that I wasn't socializing, I guess I was before this. But there's so
Mhm.
many people out there that doesn't, like him, and others um, that feel like they're outcast, or they feel like they don't have anybody to talk to. And like Traci, all of us can't go anywhere. I mean, all of us can't just
Right.
go
Well, that's
out.
what I tried to explain to Ryan, to my husband. I'm like, Ryan, you don't understand. You leave this house and you go to work and you talk to other adult people. And if I didn't have YouTube, I feel like at least here I'm talking to other adults. I can't drive because of the medication I take. So how else am I going to talk to somebody? So it's been a
Okay,
good thing for me.
okay, I made Adam sad, and I don't mean to, because a lot of times I make people cry and I don't mean to. But Adam, on the flip side of that, um, that it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It really is a good thing. That I don't know that God brought me here, and that God introduced me to you, Adam, and the rest of you guys.
Hmm.
Because I'm like this all the time. Gina knows.
I
I'm
think
like,
God meant for me to meet you, Darlene, and to be your friend and to have you as a friend. And I see that Adam said it's Bible study time. Is Casey getting ready, or
yes,
because this girl has to go have her smoke before Bible study, so I'm gonna quick go run smoke.
yes. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna do a fast shutdown.
Okay. I'll see you guys at Bible study.
All right, love you. Oh, Gina,
Love
I have
you.
on your Ed Hardy shirt. Oh, I like this. Um, so it is time for Bible study, and I did look up some stuff this morning that I want to share, some scripture, and I did look up the angel wings. So sometime today, your title come in. So what's your name now, Gina? I'm trying to crack a joke. I did an Adam joke. I know you're talking about the title of your car. All right. And after Bible study, me and Casey's got housework to do. It's Christian coffee talk this morning. Oh, but I have some Bible scripture. Can I read? Yeah. Okay, you guys. Well, Adam, you guys are my excitement. You guys are my excitement. All right, until tomorrow morning. And in the morning at 9:30 Eastern time, Mr. Bobby is going to be on here on the panel with me. So, very inspirational, and will tell you about yourself if you want to have a pity party. So, you might tell me about myself in the morning. But I love you guys. See you at Christian Coffee Talk in that room. Bye.